What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 7 of the Heads Up podcast. I am Keldy Iboko.
My name is Brown.
I'm Mr. Lins.
Yeah, and we have a guest here in the house.
Right.
And his name is Joey Akan.
Joey Akan! Joey Akan! Give it up, Joey!
Joey,
Welcome.
Thank you.
Nice to have you.
Thank you for
Thanks for coming, man.
Thank you for inviting me on your
So
podcast.
he's head of music, Pulse Nigeria. Tell us.
Why don't you just let him do what he knows how to do best to introduce himself?
Okay.
Introduce himself.
Okay, so my name is Joey Akan. My 9 to 5 makes me the head of music at Pulse Nigeria, which is basically just a job where I just sit down and listen to music and I get paid.
Wow. Listen to music and
I
get
I
paid.
get paid. So I get a lot of music. I write win awards for it. I talk. I'm trying to do multimedia now. But basically, it's just I just want to be in the media, and I'm in the media, and that's what it is. It's a dream for me.
Wow.
It's a dream. Yeah.
That's nice.
So,
No, I still remember the first time I came across one of your articles. I don't even think it was on Pulse, but I know it was one of those social media platforms.
Yeah.
And I was wowed with what you wrote. I've never read something apart from the guys I used to write like that with the Dele Momodu way back. Ovation. Yeah.
Ovation.
So and I was surprised it had a quite bomb name. I saw Akan. Yeah, Akan actually got me. And I had to Google about him. That was when I knew he was with Pulse NG. Yeah. So what actually I would love to know how did you change from the biochemistry, the science guy everybody knew about
to writing,
transformation,
to entertainment, to media space.
I think I know science students or science-oriented people do not really have some rudiment, or they are not always, their ink are mostly not rich.
Yeah.
True. So how was it? How was the transformation?
Transform.
Okay, for me there was no transformation. I think I lost my way early in life.
Okay.
Which, like many of us understand, we've gone through phases in life where we've made the wrong decisions. Where
Going emotional.
yeah, of course. This is very emotional. So yes, true. This is everything all together: emotion, decision, influencing, everything. It's all one big cocktail. So when I was in junior secondary school, I was really good as a student. I got into school when I was 14 years. Went to university when I was 14 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, yes. And then we had 2 long strikes, which added to my time in school. But I left school like 20 going on. I left like 20 going on 21. After spending 2 years for strike and then 4 years for studies. So
that's something a whole lot of people, sorry to cut you, that's something a whole lot of people at that particular time couldn't do. Sound like I still know we finished school about 23.
Yeah, I think I graduated about 22,
when I was like 18, I finished high school like 18.
22. I finished high school when I was 17 and a half. Serious.
So let's do Nigeria.
I didn't plan anything. What happened was in junior secondary school, I was good in a lot of topics. I was good in English. I've always been good in English. I read a lot.
Okay.
I did read a lot. I still read a lot. I read a lot. I enjoyed the arts. Everything about the arts, I enjoyed it. Right from reading down to watching TV. For me, TV was not an avenue to be entertained. Even though I did find entertainment, for me it was more like an avenue to learn. It was more like a channel to learn. So every time I work out, this is something I did then. I wake up in the morning. I watch at night I watch NTA News and I hear people say, I hear a politician come up and say, or someone in the public office would say, in Nigeria we are trying to channel ABC into CAD. We are together to build the economy. And then I'm like, okay, cool. Okay. And then I watch in the afternoon. I watch ESPN, and then an athlete. I watch Nigeria play football, and they'll be like, and they'll be like, after the game, they'll ask a star player, so what was responsible for your victory today? And the person will be like, first I want to thank the Lord. First, I want to thank the Lord. I thank my family. I thank my father. I thank you.
And that's all.
And that's all. And then I watch I watch different people, different other countries who speak better English, who give us the English. And then they'll ask a footballer, what was response? You were great today. You were great today. How did you do this? How were you so phenomenal in the game? The person would be like, Oh yeah, it was really a great match. I had a second burst of energy. My team was awesome. My team was amazing and all that. I'm like, okay, so English can be spoken like
this. That is a tool of comparison.
Exactly. I'm like,
you have to compare.
Yeah. So every day I wake up, and then after that hit me at a very early age. That hit me. So I went down to. So whenever I go to the mirror, every time I'm like, hello, my name is Joey. My name is Joey Akan, my teammates were good, my family was good, so I had a good game. So that was how I learned how to speak English. Writing was amazing. I've always read books, so one day I'm like, okay, cool, I could write this stuff.
You write books?
I will read books.
Okay,
I've written books, but I've not done anything with my name on it.
Okay.
But next year I'll drop something.
Alright.
Yeah.
So, I can't wait.
Yeah, I can't wait to myself. So I did all of that. I got into junior secondary school. We're crossing over into senior secondary school, FGC Okigwe, Imo State. And then I had friends, and that was where I lost my way. That was the genesis of me getting into science. Because in senior secondary school, you get to choose between moving to the arts classes, the science classes, the commercial classes, and all of that. Yeah. But for me, all my best friends were science students. I struggled with science,
physics and chemistry.
I can't solve maths to save my life.
I can so relate to that. Exactly. I can so relate to that.
Even in University of Rio, I had maths for first and second semester. First semester I had 40 dots.
40 dots.
That's easy.
Yes. Second semester I had 40 dots.
Oh, wow.
Yes. That was the hand of God saying, just go. Just
Don't
go.
fail.
Exactly.
Don't carry.
Yeah, exactly. But so after that, I went into science classes. I discovered I struggled with a lot of things. To be honest, I didn't know how to balance a chemical equation until my second year in school, in university.
Second year in school.
Yes. Wow. I didn't know how to balance a chemical equation.
Okay.
I didn't.
That's chemistry.
Yes, but I went through chemistry. I did all of that. I scored really good grades in chemistry because I knew I could cram.
Okay.
We do.
Yes, so I crammed a lot. I crammed every equation, every possible equation. Physics was, I just said, okay, physics. Well, I crammed, so I crammed all through, but I never had joy from it. I had joy in English, philosophy and logic in school during my first year, was it second year in school?
Second
year.
First to second semester. I had 98 over 100.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Yeah, exactly. This was the Lord calling me.
That's truly Lord's calling.
Two marks
away from 100, from perfection.
I think the lecturer just took out the 2 marks.
Yeah.
Maybe you had 100 over 100.
He actually scored 98%.
Yeah.
As a biochemistry student.
Yeah.
And I'm a major in philosophy.
Yeah.
My bachelor's is from philosophy, yeah.
Wow.
And I never scored that. then you were good.
Yeah, I look forward to everything art. But then I'd always known that I was going to be this person. I was always going to share more. I always wanted to write. I wrote a lot. I wrote a lot of poems. I was into poetry. I'm still into poetry, but I don't publish because it's shit. Okay. Poetry is horrible, so I don't publish. I write and I practice on my girlfriend, and then she kicks me in the ass and tells me, "Don't ever do this to me again."
Oh shit!
It's ruining our relationship.
I practice on my girlfriend.
So it's like so back then it was all about going. I did biochemistry. I discovered I hated biochemistry. After the first year, I said, okay, second year I might do. The second year I discovered I still hated it. First year I had very bad grades. Second year I had okay grades. But second year something opened my eyes. I looked at the way I wanted to write. I wanted to offer more in terms of what I had in me. So what I did then was I contested for the faculty. That was Faculty of Basic Medical Science. I contested for the Faculty Director of Information, and I contested and I won. That was how I started. Then they're like, okay, cool. I said, okay, what's up with the Director of Information? I said to do this, and I said, how can I share information? How can I do this? And so in school, look at this picture. There's a picture I'm going to share now. This was the board. I went there just today before this podcast.
Okay, you went to school.
I went back. I went back to my faculty, and I took this picture. Okay. Hold on, just a bit. I hope this does not get boring for the people listening. But yes, it's very important. This was it. I went back to take this picture because it was this board where I started writing for people. This particular.
That was your faculty board.
Yeah, this was
share the information.
This was where
This was where I understand.
I remember way back. I was in engineering, but I used to come to main camp where Mr. Links was there. If your sister was there,
yeah.
I used to go around the school when we check the boards. Then he'll be like, "This guy not rubbish now. This guy not."
Okay, the people writing on board.
Yeah, the people writing on board.
We used to check it. We were very like we pay attention to things.
Yeah.
And the three of us, we've been classmates from high school.
Wow, that's
Like,
amazing.
and we still roll
Kept the
from
code.
Bright Stars to university to the
When I studied
entrepreneurship.
engineering,
And now to the Heads Up podcast.
You understand? So you see some things. They told me Joey Akan. I was like, Joey, I had to check up about this nigga. And I had to check up. I was even going through some of your pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, man, this guy was some time ago. He was lean.
Yes, I made bad diet choices. don't eat at night. Don't eat at night.
Okay, I think I have just one question to ask you, and that goes thus: moving from Akwa Ibom, the South, where the entertainment industry is not really known.
Yeah.
It's not in the big screen.
Yeah.
It's not even close to being in the big screen.
Yeah.
I made an article some time ago about Akwa Ibom being the next entertainment hub for Nigeria.
Yeah.
Because I was just trying to draw entertainment investors to the state.
Yeah.
All right, now, what prompted you? Your move, your transmission, your journey from, because I find it. I wake up. Okay, apart from podcasting, I'm a public relation specialist. I do PR.
Yeah.
That's what I do. Fine. I've been thinking of going to Lagos to go and do one thing, internship, do this and that. How did you move? Because it's very difficult to leave your comfort zone. Like
Next moment,
Yes.
Pulse TV.
And this is Pulse TV that
music.
I can't stay in 2 hours without checking up on them. Guys, where the whole world, as in where is the big screen of Nigeria? You
Right
can't
now,
tell me
yeah.
you're doing anything right now and you can't be following up on Pulse TV. And it's like an Akwa Ibom son, alumni, because he's one of us.
Yeah.
He's one of us.
Share your
And
story.
we graduated the same year, 212.
Yeah,
212. All of us,
Yeah,
212.
yeah.
And now, man, how did it happen? I really want to get this part because I want it to inspire not just me, but our listeners.
Yeah.
I've always had this burning hunger to be this. Well, as a child, I wanted to be a journalist. I wanted to do everything. I wanted to win awards. I wanted to be a journalist. I wanted to drive my car. I wanted to live in my house. I wanted to have money in my pocket. I wanted to do all these things as a child. So every day I think about these things and I'm like, okay, I'm going to be this thing. I'm going to be this person. I'm going to be a journalist. I'm going to be a good writer. I'm going to be this person. So when I was done with school, before I was done with school, I started writing on that board I just showed you guys.
Okay.
I always wrote on that board. I wrote something called Ajebutter. It was a gossip column. It blew in on the annex.
I think I can still remember.
Yes, Ajebutter. That was me. That was me back then. I did all of that stuff. And then, before I left school, how the journey to Lagos happened was, in my third year in school, usually I get 60,000 a semester for feeding, 3 months, 20K a semester. But one day I'm like, the next thing is online. I can't be doing this on paper every time. I need my own computer. I need to go online. I need to get plugged in. So
to get paid.
Yes. So one semester I took all the money for feeding, 60K. I went down to Port Harcourt. All my money for feeding, all my money
Was
for
the money
textbooks.
given to you in bulk?
Yeah, it was given to me in bulk.
Wow.
Yeah. They trusted me.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah, so they gave me. I made sure they gave it to me in bulk. I took some part of my school fees, took some part of others, and then I traveled down to Port Harcourt, and then I bought a laptop. I bought a small laptop. I still have that laptop also today. I'm never going to get it. That was my first laptop. Then I began to write.
And I'm sure you put it in your museum.
Yes, I will.
Or your library.
It's there. It's always going to be with me. So I bought that laptop, and since then I began to write. I connected to the internet. It was too expensive, but yes, I found a way to do it.
Yeah.
I started freelancing. I joined freelancing websites. I began to freelance. I freelanced. I go straight for ESPN FC. I go straight. Yeah, I did sports then. I go straight for a lot of people. Yeah, I wrote sports.
No, he's the writer too. Mr. Brown is the writer too.
No. When Joey is talking, I'm not the right.
Oh shit.
It's all good. It's all good. That's flat. So I began to build on that. So one day I was in Oran. Before I left Akwa Ibom after school. I grew up in Port Harcourt.
Okay.
After school, before I left, I went to Oran. I was just at the waterfront having fun, drinking Heineken.
Yeah?
Yes.
What's your favorite brand?
Drinking now.
I'm drinking now.
What's your favorite brand?
So doing Heineken, and I got a call from a British guy saying, "Hello, Joey. Is this Joey Akan?" I'm like, cool. And my first job I got paid on the internet was not even for writing. It was to manage someone's online dating life.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Managing someone's
I think
online
I watched
dating
something
life.
like that on one movie, Double Wedding. I've seen such a movie,
Yes.
Double Wedding.
So my
the guy was just on the internet, hooking up people, managing online life for
that's what I did.
some guys that were busy, and the movie really opened my mind to something.
Yeah, so the guy was busy, and then he wanted me to manage his online day. He said he loved my humor, and I could help him catch women. And God knows, before I managed his life for like 6 months. Before I know every month I got him minimum of 50 women.
Oh, 50 women.
Minimum of 50 women. See,
Wow.
You're such a great guy, and all that. And then I'll fix meetings for them, and they'll meet, and then he'll come back, he'll tell me how that went. I'll be like, okay, this is what I want, this is what I went. I'll go search for that woman, and I'll link them up together. That was the first job that got me paid. So, but I did a lot of writing.
Sorry, please.
Sharing how much
Sorry,
you
please.
paid?
What opened your mind to that job? It's rare.
So he contacted me.
That was what the man wanted.
He contacted me, and he's like, okay, cool, you could do this. And I said yes. I never reject a job except when I know I could not do it. And there's only very few things I cannot do. As long as I put my mind to it, I'll do it.
Multi-potential.
Yeah, multi-potential like so in the end, so I kept doing. So when that British guy called me while on Oran Beach, I had a conversation with him. He told me, what do you think about Nigerian entertainment? I told him about entertainment and everything. How do you think about this? I just had a conversation. And they're like, okay, cool. You just passed your interview. What do you think about Pulse Nigeria?
Just like that.
Just like that.
Yes.
You got the job.
Then it wasn't pulse.ng. Then it was pulse.com.ng. What do you think about pulse.com.ng? I say, never heard of you. I don't know. And then he was like, okay, he sent me a couple of links, told me to send the CV and all of that. I was just working on my project.
Wow.
Then.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when I was done with everything, then by the time I was done, I was like, okay, cool. He said I should send him samples of what I can do. I looked at all the other websites, generated a sample, sent to him. I got the job. Then I was being paid. 30,000.
Oh wow.
30,000. Yeah, freelancing.
Wow.
Yeah,
that was big.
Yeah, that was big then. It was big. I turned up. I literally turned up. I woke up and I turned up. Like when I got the job, I'm like, woo! Joey, 30,000! 30, then they got punished then, yeah. So I did that for a month, and then by the end of that was in December. I did that in December. I did that in January, and then by end of January I was done with UNIO. So I went back home. I went back home to Port Harcourt, and my folks were like, hey Joey, you're done with school. You're going to go to the US. Yeah, we're going to go to the US. You're going to be a doctor. You're going to be a doctor. I'm like, okay. After we had that conversation the first day, I stayed the first day. Everything was so, in the UAE I was used to hustling. I went back home. In the morning they'll knock on my door, your food's on the table. I want to go out, there's a driver to take me around. I want to do this, there's always something. I felt it was, it didn't
so
feel
you're the Ajebutter kid.
Yes, I was.
Oh, that's why you call yourself Lagos Ajebutter.
Yes. So,
Lagos Ajebutter.
I got home and I was one of those people. I'm like, I can't do this, man. On the third day, I woke up. I called them both together, and I'm like, "Hey, people, you guys have done so much for me. I appreciate this, but I don't want to be a doctor. I want to live my life. This is not me. I can't keep living a lie. I want to go push my way." So they're like, "Nah, you're going to be this." I said, "No, I'm not going to be this." They said, "You're going to be this thing." So I said, "Okay." The next day, I packed all my books ever in biochemistry, all the books I've ever done, except my project and my seminar. I took them outside. I bumped it while playing music.
Wow.
Yes, and I danced. After dancing, I called a distant relative, very distant relative that I've never spoken to in my life before. I called and said, "You're in Lagos. I heard you're in Lagos." I said, "Yes." "Okay, I'm going to come. We're going to work out the way I could pay the rent, or I could pay my own portion of the rent and everything."
That was bold.
Then the next day, I just packed my bags, took a cab. They said, "No, we're not going to give you our blessings." I'm like, "I don't need your blessing, man. I'm going to live my life." Yes, that was it. I took that step, and then I moved to Lagos.
Wow.
I moved to Lagos. That was how I moved to Lagos. I went to a house. I lived in the ghetto for a year. Pulse was not big. Pulse was nothing then. It was a very just.
Which year was this?
This was early 2013. January 2013.
So the polls were like all embracing and liking and stuff today. I started since
I started it since 2011.
That's good. That was bold. That was a bold step you took.
Yes.
So right now, how are your people?
My
Now
people?
that you've arrived in what you've always wanted to do,
Well,
how are they taking you?
when I say I have arrived, now I wouldn't say I have arrived. I just said I made
Like
a lot
you
of,
find your
I
way.
made a lot of progress.
Yeah,
I
made
made a lot of
progress,
progress in that light. Everything I wanted to do as a child, everything I wanted to do as a little boy, everything I looked up and said when I grow I wanted to do it. I've done it.
Okay.
All right.
I've done everything.
You've done it.
I've done everything.
Like seriously?
Everything I wanted to do. Right now I'm setting adult goals. Adult goals, yeah. But everything I wanted to do as a child. If it's writing, I'm done it. If it's the journalist, I'm a journalist. If it's the car, I've driven I bought my first car at 23 years old.
Wow.
Yes. If it's the house, I live in my house. So I've done everything. And looking back, they're still not. we still don't have a good relationship because of that move. They wanted so much. They wanted something different for me. And now they're like,
Doctor.
okay. Yeah, they wanted Dr. Joe. Yeah. But no, I didn't want that. So that was basically it for me. That was how I made the move. And
Okay.
it has not been easy. I had to live in a house where there was no window.
In Lagos?
Yeah, in Lagos. I lived in the ghetto.
Yeah, there's always
Which part? Sorry, which
Ojuelegba.
part? Ojuelegba. Like,
Yes.
seriously, I can relate.
Yes, that was Ojuelegba which kid sings about.
Yeah.
I can relate to that because I lived there. Everything, it was bad. There were cultism, people were killing themselves, people were getting impregnated and fighting themselves. I had a lot of stories. If you go online, Google Chronicles of a Lagos Ajebutter. Write it down, Google it. You will read the stories. I wrote a lot of
Your
stories.
own stories.
Yes, my stories about my experience
Chronicles of
a
the Lagos Ajebutter.
That's nice.
Google that. There are a lot of stories. You read them. I'm going to make all the stories into a book next year. That's the book that would come out. Chronicles of a Lagos Ajebutter. So,
Alright.
so that was it. That was it for me. And since then, we've just been growing, staying focused, trying to stay out of trouble, trying to push, trying to just get the work done. And that's it.
Okay,
That's it
so
for me.
right now I think your focus is about Nigerian music industry.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right now, a lot about music. In fact, you are ahead of music. Pulse NG.
Yeah,
so I'm
he's
going
ahead.
to ask you this question.
Yeah.
We are having
The awareness is coming.
yeah, the whole world
Tension is coming.
is focusing more on Afrobeat than before.
Yeah.
Do you think we are ready for this exposure, or we are just having the right things happening at the wrong time? That we
And
this
in
is
the
an
wrong
industry that
place.
is not well structured.
We all know that.
Wrong time and wrong place.
Yeah. So what do you think about the Nigerian industry?
Okay.
And the whole
And the
exposure?
international exposure
Yeah.
and all of that. Okay, this is what I think. I think we need to give, even though the Banj deal went south, even though it never happened,
Okay.
but the Banj is the forerunner of everything that we have now.
Yeah.
The Banj literally destroyed his career to push for international exposure.
Yeah.
He hooked up with Kanye, broke up with Don Jazzy.
Yeah.
That was the end of the Banj as
Yeah.
we knew
For
it.
the
Yeah,
sacrifice, I guess.
Yeah, so that's first. We need to give the band that props. We need to
Yeah.
give him that for showing us the way, for pushing past the ceiling and saying, "Listen."
So he was a John the Baptist.
Yeah, he was. He was like, yes, he was. On
John
many
the
levels.
Baptist.
It was like, come on, we have to do this. He opened people's eyes to the fact that
Yeah. It can break out.
yeah, we could break out this glass ceiling called the international. You could hit your head against it and bust through it and achieve sunlight, and that's what the band did for us.
Yep.
So right now, and it didn't work out, but slowly look at the international scene. It's slowly coming down to us.
Coming.
Look at Once Upon a Time. There's something. Every sound you heard from the Caribbeans, it was called reggae.
Yeah.
Then you had soca, you had dancehall, you had a lot of things, but then we just knew it as reggae. That was because them too, just like the others, they had penetrated them. They had penetrated those places,
Yeah.
gotten their sounds and used them.
Yep.
Yeah.
So now it's time. It's Africa's time. My only concern now is, it's Africa's time. I think it's the right time. I think the world needs the world is ready for a new sound.
Okay.
And Afrobeat is supplying that.
It's leaning that.
Afrobeat is supplying that, and we have so much potential here in this country. Like in Nigeria here, we have a lot of potential. Not even in Nigeria alone, because they just lump us in Afrobeat. In Nigeria, we have a lot of potential. We have the Wizkids, we have the Davidos, we have the Tiwa Savage, we have a lot of artists.
yeah.
In East Africa, there's Diamond, there's Ali Kiba.
Yeah.
In South Africa, we have
Sauti
hip hop. South Africa has the best hip hop. In Kenya,
Yeah.
we have Sauti
AKA
Soul. We have Sauti, we have
the
Amani. In South Africa now, they have the big guys, aka Casper
Casper,
Nyovest, and
yeah.
then the young boys pushing MT, Nasty C.
Yeah.
Africa is ready. But my main concern now is, and that's the fear everybody has in their minds, is these people, they're coming to us, they're offering us deals, they're taking over our sound, they're trying to make money from our sound.
Yeah.
All these deals they're signing, all these deals the Nigerian artists are signing, none of these deals involve Nigeria.
Okay.
But none of them
All
involve
they care
You-
about
you-
is their
Yes.
It's vast.
Yeah, because
Like,
because
you-
our industry is shit. We
Yeah,
don't have
okay.
the structures. We don't
That
have
was a-
publishing.
that was a-
we don't have publishing. We
Oh,
don't have licensing.
that's
we don't have
cool.
any of the structures. We just have a jungle, and we have people with spirit, with heart, ready to just
Do
generate
it.
content.
Yeah.
Do
And
it.
that's what we have. And we have a sound that's very appealing to the rest of the world.
Okay, let me take you to this question.
Yeah.
Let me just take you to this question because of what you just said. I was about to ask you, how can you rate the Nigerian music industry to the rest of Africa?
We have the content. I was in South Africa for the MTV Mamas.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay, you were
I was
there.
there. Yes,
Okay.
check. I put a lot of pictures on Instagram and Facebook and all of that. I wrote a lot of stories, did a lot of opinions. But I was there. I was in Johannesburg, stayed at the Hilton, went down to the venue, Ticket Pro Dome. I was with everyone. So I had a lot of conversations with these people, and half the time everybody, all different countries. they all look up to Nigeria. They're like, if only we can be like Nigeria. South Africans, they have the best publishing, they have the best structure in terms of music, but they don't have content.
Okay.
They only have hip hop. But
us that have the content.
Yeah, but we have the content. We don't have the industry. So what we're doing, Nigeria music industry is like a child that didn't go to primary school found himself in JS1.
Okay.
And he's trying to push.
confused.
Yeah, he's confused, but he's been trying to say, okay, since I'm in JS1 now, I must go to JS2.
I must pass integrated science.
Yes, I don't know what the basics are, but I am definitely going to go to a bigger class.
Yeah.
So that's what the Nigerian music industry is. We're winging it. We're winging it, we're pushing, we're winging it, we're just trying to get by one day at a time. And so far, in terms of so far, pop music has done it for us. Music has done it for us. We're making so much money from pop music. But just imagine how much we could make from it if we had structures that could give us like genre specific audiences. We don't have enough people listening to soul. We don't have enough people listening to R&B, alternative sounds, all the sounds you don't hear on radio. We don't have that. Even hip hop itself is being fused with what we call Afro pop now. So hip hop is an endangered genre
right now.
True. Yes, when your two best
Fino right now is singing.
when your two best hip hop artists in this country, your two hottest hip hop artists, Fino and Olamide, come together for a joint, and the joint sounds like Fada. What do you expect? So this is the problem that we get. We don't have enough.
It's just kill it.
Yeah.
That is 3 points. That is 3 points. Like seriously.
So that's the problem we're having now. We're having that. We have the content, we have the talent, we have everything. We have the celebrity. We have our level of celebrity is enough. We have the work rates, we have the content, we have the inspiration, we have everything. But what we need are the basic structures. And shout out to new companies. Some companies are coming up to set that. Some companies are coming up to set that. We have Five Music, we have the other one, Greenhouse, whatever. But although they're still working on that. But yes, that's the stage that we're in right now.
Okay.
Now, that was why I asked. Do you think that we are ready for the international exposure?
We are. In terms of exporting our material, in
Yeah.
terms of exporting our sound and generating value in other markets.
We are ready.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
We are. That's why we're getting the deals now. We are. The world's looking forward to that. Look at the biggest song this year all over the world. Has Wizkid on it.
Yeah.
True.
That's number one.
Yes,
in
true.
UK,
Wizkid did not just
in
write, he produced. He not just sing, he just
yeah.
perform. He wrote and he produced. He produced other songs on that album, although that's not to be said in the public.
Away from that, I just want to ask you about this Ms. Chidinma Okeke stuff.
Okay!
The Cucumber.
Hey! Cucumber!
Miss Cucumber 2016. She has been controlling the media space for a while now.
Yes,
She has been there for a while.
And I just learned there is an event that in Cross River, Calabar. There's one event in Calabar. They want to
award her.
and they want to award her for.
That's not my
for being
concern,
able to stand the pressure.
What's-
What?
What's your take about
What's
it?
the take on Chidinma Okeke? Okay, bank. Okay, so let me just deal with my anger first before I go into the deep one. See, I am angry that at this point in my life I can never be able to hold a cucumber in my hand and still eat it with a good mind.
Same with me.
It will never happen again, and that's what Chidinma has done. So that's my only anger at the entire because right now I look at cucumber now and all I say is just is another way of utilizing that vegetable.
Yeah.
It's not to be put in your mouth. So, but it's fine. Okay, away from that.
Okay.
I think Chidinma had Chidinma Okeke. She's like a lot of us. She's made bad decisions.
Okay.
We have made wrong decisions at every turn. I know
Okay,
some of
the
us
point now
here listening to this podcast, we've recorded sex tapes at some point.
Sure.
But just because it's not out in the open does not make us better than her.
Yeah.
So she's a young girl who has made wrong decisions, and those decisions have come around to bite her in the ass. It's in the public now, and it's affecting her. So I feel bad for her.
Okay.
I feel bad for her. I think I feel bad for her. That's all I feel for her. I don't feel. I go online a lot and I read about people saying, Chidinma should be arrested and locked up. And then for me, I'm going to say this now. They could quote this like 10 years from now, 50,000 years from now. I've never been against a law. I've never been for a law. When you bring the law into this matter, I've never been for a law that clamps down on people using their genitals, deciding their sexuality, whatever way they want to swing, whatever anybody wants to do with their genitals, as long as it's not affecting another person negatively,
Okay.
then yes, you can have that. Homosexuality or lesbianism, as what we're discussing here, it's a victim. It has no victim.
It has no victim.
Yes.
So quote Mr. Joy.
It has no victim. Yeah. It has no victim. So I am all for the cultural part of it. I'm all for the religious part of it. I'm all for all of that. But in the end, this is a young girl who has made wrong decisions, and now it's affecting her. So I think people should come up together. People should come. Do I think she should be arrested? No. Do I think she has had enough punishment? Yes, she's been judged everywhere.
Yeah.
She has had enough punishment. That's enough. Cyberbullying, slander, everything. It's enough to make a person go mad. It's enough to make a person think go suicidal. So Chidinma Okeke made a wrong decision, and that's it. She has to live with it for the rest of her life. But I don't think it's worth her being arrested for. I don't think it's something that should actually be really discussed. And then for all of those people screaming out loud, I say this all the time. Check my Facebook. I write this. I wrote something about this. And every you screaming that Chidinma Okeke should be arrested. Yeah. Chidinma Okeke should be there. How does it affect your life? If Chidinma Okeke gets arrested now, does it make you a better person? Does it make the world a safer place?
Yeah.
Does it make the world a safer place? Do you live a better life from Chidinma Okeke arrested? How does it benefit you directly?
Okay.
How does your circumstance on earth, how does the quality of your life increase by Chidinma Okeke being arrested?
Yeah.
So that's something people have failed. No, I've not had any valid argument. Did they I would have that argument, then it will be fine.
Okay, so
finally we are going to ask you this. I know we are running out of time right now.
Yeah.
So what do you think about the Nigerian industry, music industry, and its awards? Do you think these artists actually merit these awards, or do you think it's politics like we have in other industries?
First, there's never any true awards.
There's never any true awards.
There's never any true awards. Even the one.
You're an award winner.
Yes, I'm an award winner.
An award winner.
I say it all the time too. Awards are not. I don't understand how people work hard.
But I like you because you're just being truthful.
No, that's how I'm always. That's what
being real.
That's what I put
so
in my life. That's what I'd say this anyway. This is what that's what guides me.
Okay.
I say my heart every time. I don't understand how people put in so much work.
Okay.
So much work. People put in so much work on different levels, and then someone wakes up one day and says, okay, we're going to bring people out, we're going to put all of this out together, we're going to make them compete against themselves. When these people generated this work, they never competed against themselves.
Okay.
I'm right, and I didn't compete against the guy at Della Nigeria. I don't give a shit about the guy at Della Nigeria. I don't give a shit about the guy at The Guardian. I don't give a shit about anywhere. I just want to do my best possible work. So when people bring us together and say, oh, you're better than this, you're better than that, you're better than this, what about it's not about being a winner, it's about the others. How has it helped? How does it help? That's my problem. How does it help people? How does it help these people making this art, creating this beauty, this pieces of work? How does it? How do the awards help them? It's not only about the winner. Everybody focuses on the winner. How about the losers? Do you mean they're not good enough as people? Do you mean they're not good enough in generating value? So awards generally, the award system, the concept of awards generally, I am not exactly cool with it.
Okay.
Yes, it's fun to have it. I've won altogether. Okay, I made one public, but I've won like 5 awards in my.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Amazing.
Shout out.
This year I've been nominated for a lot more. Yes, I have a lot. I have the ones I made public are Scream and Nigerian Writers Awards, which I won last year. So I was talking to the organizer of Scream yesterday, and it's like, Joey, we have an event and we want you to attend and all of that. But in the end, it's fun to have these things, but I think the award system awards should never exist. That's what I think. Awards should never exist. People make good art. Be happy in the fact that you're able to generate value no matter where you are at any level, knowing that this is not a competition. If this is a competition, then it's fine. It's fine. Then we have winners and losers. But as long as it's not a competition, then there's no point.
So awards, in essence, you're saying awards should be all about value.
Awards should be about generating value. About rewarding value.
Everybody
should get an award. That's what I think.
Okay.
The fact that you're doing this, you're affecting certain people. You're doing this and you have this amount of traction. That in alone is good. You should have your own award for generating this, for being of help to these people, for generating this value. So that's what it is for me.
Thanks, man. Joey, we have this hot seat segment for you.
Okay, hot seat segment. Let's do this. Hot seat segment.
Just 3 questions.
Okay.
They are simple ones. Okay, so the first question is Magic Fashek's hit song.
Yes.
Magic Fashek.
What's the title and what year was it produced?
You're asking me about Send Down the Rain?
Okay, what year?
I'm very bad with numbers.
Okay.
But I'm just going to try as much as possible.
Okay, to make a guess. Answer.
Send Down the Rain was released.
No, like for Paul's NG hand.
I'm bad with years of music.
You don't know music.
If you ask me years, then I'll get it wrong because I know in 1988 Ajebutter Fashek was signed to was it what record label was that? But in the end it didn't work out. But Police Cop or whatever. But you guys can feel that. You guys can feel that.
Okay.
I say there's nothing there.
Okay, I'll tell you the year at the end. So the second question is Wizkid's first album. What was the title? It's simple enough.
Superstar.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you got that.
The third question is Two-Face Idibia is Nigeria's most successful artist.
Yeah.
Tell us the group he was before he went solo.
Plantation.
Oh, Plantation Boys.
He
He got it.
No. He had having the first question. He had straight one in the second question, and the third question he also had 1. So he has scored 2.5 over 3.
Okay, so
Yeah,
what should we
2.5
do for
over
him?
3 people. That's enough. That's enough, people. 2.5. Great score.
Let's give him a special clap.
A special clap.
We roll it.
Okay, we roll it.
Okay.
We roll it.
Let's do it.
We put it together. Give it to Joey.
Wow.
Thank you. I feel like life has new meaning now. I just received a special clap.
Yeah, from the Best of Podcast.
Mr. Joey Akan, it was nice having you in the studio today. Thank you for us.
No, he has to shoot. Tell us your handle. The listeners can come follow you.
Okay, cool. My name is Joey Akan. You could follow me on all social media platforms: Instagram, Twitter, any any social media platform you go on. Just type at JoeyAkan at JoeyAkan, and then you'd find me everywhere online.
Everywhere.
At JoeyAkan.
Get that?
Yeah.
It's everywhere.
Everywhere you go.
At what?
JoeyAkan. Joey Akan. Joey Akan.
So it was nice having you today. Thank you for.
Thanks for
stopping
coming.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I love the work you guys do.
We love
man.
you
guys
too.
just keep pushing,
We love
man.
you too.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I
Thank you.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. So you extend our greetings to the Pulse guys. Tell them they motivated us.
Yeah,
A lot.
definitely.
Please,
yeah.
We're like doing what
we
they're
hope,
doing
we
over
hope
here.
you're gonna play this once it's out for the Pulse.
No,
guys.
definitely.
It has to go to that
We'll play it
level.
at the office. I've been telling to give you a shout out.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
Oh,
So
wow.
tell Steve, we look forward to meeting Steve too.
Yeah, you
I
guys
am
live.
sad.
Sad.
Yeah.
And Ayo.
And
Ayo, yeah,
too.
Ayo.
So we're working on that.
3
We're
crazy
working on
guys.
that.
They
We're
are
working
number
on
1 today, the number 1 podcast in Nigeria today.
Yeah.
that. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
So we're working on that.
So Loose Talk podcast.
Tell
shout out
them
to you guys.
we
We
follow
listen to them
back to
all
back,
the
back to
sessions,
back.
all the episodes.
Back to back.
Definitely is amazing.
So thank you very much. So we see you guys next week.
Thank you. See you all next
Bye.
week too.
Bye.
Thank you.
One love.
So let's take a picture.